Good morning, traders. Just a very quick update this morning. Over here, we're on Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart. Let's go back to daily. As we all know, it's FOMC day today, so we can expect a little bit of volatility going into this area. Let me just quickly put this to one side, around about this area. Yeah, so there's one of two things that's going to happen. It's either going to go up or down, which is kind of stating the obvious, but as you know, the price is now around these this resistance right here, and it touched over there, it's touching there, and it's got these little wicks coming down here, and it's obviously coincided with the descending resistance line that we created from the descending support line. So at this point in time, and let's go down to the 4-hour, you have what I think is a fantastic risk reward. So if you look over here, what we're looking at, this is invalidated as soon as it goes above that descending resistance, right? So if we put that about there, and we put the entry about these levels right here, and then what we'll be doing, we'll be aiming for this horizontal support resistance. As we mentioned in the previous videos, you got to tap there, you got to tap there, you got to tap there. This is a very strong resistance. 112, 100 or thereabouts is a fairly strong support. Now, just so you're aware, a lot of these support and resistance levels, it's not a specific number. It can be, but it really is. And it tends to be where there's a cluster of orders, limit orders, stop losses, take profits, all that stuff are around these levels where the previous highs or previous lows were. And that's why they all clustered there. So you tend to have a little bit of a battle between the buyers and the sellers in these areas. So let's say it comes out, the FOMC is due, obviously, as I mentioned earlier. The interest rates are meant to go from 4.5% down to 4.25. If that happens, you could have a little bit of a sell-off because people tend to, or traders tend to pile onto the expectation of news. And then when you get the event, they start taking off their risk and the trades kind of unwind a little bit. But people tend to, or traders tend to trade the expectation of what's going to happen, not the event itself. So we will not necessarily be looking for the announcement of the interest rate decision, but it's the discussions that are had afterwards, the news conferences that happens. I think it's about 15 to 20 minutes after the interest rate decision, you will have a news conference with Powell. So that means that he'll give you a little bit more insights into where they see the economy going, where the areas of concern are, and then those will obviously be the key areas we want to be looking at going forward as those economic releases come out. So if unemployment is an issue, we'll be looking at unemployment figures. If CPI or inflation is an issue, we'll be looking at CPI figures, because we know that's what the Fed's going to be looking at in order to make their next interest rate decision. Anyway, that's what we're going to be looking for. So at the moment, I think we have a very good risk reward, but it has stopped around about these areas. So if there's a surprise to the upside, let's say Powell cuts interest rates down to 4%, for example. That's going to be super bullish. It's unexpected, and that could pop the price of Bitcoin above this level, and then we can invalidate this trade. But either way, I would say this is a good place to take a position, a short position right here. Place your stop loss about 118. If you haven't been in the trade already, this is kind of with the levels where we're at anyway. And then you can take it around about these levels. Your take profit's going to be about 112,200. Let's just look at the other ones just for a second. Okay, so you got GRT. Again, we still need these uptrends. I mean, to be fair, if I were just trading without leverage, I'd probably be taking long positions around about these levels. Right? I mean, it's only because we're trying to be as accurate as possible that we're waiting for these little dips and then buying on the support levels to go up because we're leveraged. But if you're just trading spot, there's nothing stopping you from going in at these levels. These are very good levels. As you can see over here, got drift, popped up about just under 10% last night. I would want to see a little bit of a drop down onto this level, and then we can buy. I tend to buy on these support levels. So that's the update for this morning. Good luck, traders. Happy FOMC day, and we'll catch up again tomorrow, or maybe the next day when there's some kind of a trade alert. But if you are looking to get short at these levels, very good risk reward, and all the best. Have a good day. Bye.